The Lord be with you. Reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. In the time of King Herod, after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem asking, "Where is the child who has been born King of the Jews? For we observed his star at its rising and have come to pay him homage." When King Herod heard this, he was frightened, and all of Jerusalem with him. And calling together all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Messiah was to be born. They told him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for so it has been written by the prophet, 'And you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah. For from you shall come a ruler who is to shepherd my people Israel.'" Then Herod secretly called for the wise men and learned from them the exact time when the star had appeared. Then he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, "Go, search diligently for the child, and when you have found him, bring word, so that I too may also go and pay homage to him." When they had heard the king, they set out, and there, ahead of them, went the star that they had seen at its rising, until it stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw that the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. On entering the house, they saw the child with his mother, Mary, and they knelt down and they paid him homage. Then, opening their treasure chests, they offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they left for their own country by another road. The Gospel of the Lord. Where's the Gospel? Before Monsignor comes and brings us homily, I wanted to let you know about something that's happening here. Commencing next Sunday evening at 6:45, we're going to have a video study. It's called The Search. It answers questions of faith. It asks questions about the faith, and you're all invited. What can I tell you about it? I've led a few of these studies over the years, and I've come to demand a certain level of quality, and this one seems to check all the boxes. They do a very good job in the content as well as the production. It'll be 7 weeks in duration, 6:45 to 8 p.m. We'll be using this side door to enter and exit. And commencing again, I say, next Sunday evening at 6:45. The Search. If you have any other questions, please feel free to come see me. Thank you.
Today we celebrate the Feast of Epiphany. It's coming from a Greek word, epiphanein. It's often translated to make manifest, but at the very root of it is the word for light. So it makes manifest by shining light. And the light is the light of Christ, shining on all the nations of the world, who are symbolized by the Magi, the wise men coming from the east. The shepherds, whom we see also in our classic creche scene, they're representatives of the people of Israel, long awaiting their Messiah. But the Magi are representatives of the nations, of all the nations of the world. And I cannot help but think, especially in the last few years when I look in this church and I hear some of my fellow priests saying the same thing about their churches, how the faces are changing, and we're seeing more of the nations of the world. And the reason that we're seeing faces from the nations of the world is that we're all drawn to the same light, the light of Christ. And no matter where we live or where we came from, it is the light of Christ which gathers us together. And that's what we celebrate today on this feast of the Epiphany, the shining out, the making manifest of Christ, the light of the world.